She just had the biggest heart. She was such a beautiful person. She would always be the one who would organise the school fair. She was just an absolutely amazingly wonderful person, and she left a really big hole in our lives.
When Mark's wife Rose suddenly became critically unwell, she had to be airlifted from their home in Hobart to the Alfred Hospital in Melbourne.
Not being able to be by her side and hold her hand when she needed me the most, still really hard for me to go back to that time.
With the strict COVID restrictions of 2020, the closest Mark came to Ro was his calls to the hospital.
Over 100 calls I estimated that I made to the Alfred Hospital over the few weeks that she was there.
And each time he heard the same hold music.
And I would hear that music over and over again, just waiting to get through to hear how Ro was going that day. So that hold music became really difficult for me to hear.
Ro never got better.
The decision was made that she would come back to Hobart to spend her last days with her family and friends.
In the wake of Ro's death, Mark kept hearing that same hold music over and over again with every call he had to make. It left him in a dark place.
But I could hear Ro in my head saying, if you're going to continue to feel so sad, I think you need to do something about this. So I thought, I bet you the Alfred Hospital hasn't ever really thought about their hold music and what it would be like for people to hear that over and over again.
So Mark decided to reach out to the hospital, and his plea to change the hold music found its way into Amy's capable hands.
And that's really what gave me the first idea of how could we create something special for Mark, but for all of our other patients and loved ones that dial into Alfred Health.
So, with a bit of help, Amy found composer Jessica Wells.
The brief was to represent not only Ro, but also a wonderful hospital, and this is meant to evoke calm and be pleasant to listen to and to hopefully improve your mood while you're on the phone.
Together, Mark and Jess set about creating new hold music, a piece that truly captured who Ro was.
And he told me that it really felt like Ro, and that he felt like it was a portrait of Ro. And I said, well, that's going to be the title of the piece. Portrait of Ro was perfect.
And that song? You've been listening to it all along.
For me, the pinnacle of my career was creating this piece because it truly affected one human being so deeply. That meant a lot more to me as a composer.
I can't say I ever know Ro, but I certainly think she'd be incredibly proud of Mark and the way that he's been able to create so much joy and look beyond just himself in his moment of grief to how he can help others.
When I play it often, I talk to Ro about what her day's been like, and I play it for her. And I'm sure she's been listening to this as we've been creating it as well.
Wow. Georgie said the tissues were there. They're really far away from us right now, so we can't actually grab them.
I thought you were straight.
But you warned us.
I did. I warned you. I warned you with that one. When the beautiful producer who put that together, Gab White, was telling me about the story, look, I was like, oh,
yeah.
It's just your heart breaks for Mark and Ro, but that's something so beautiful. But it's just the thought of him like calling that song.
And how many other people that will like help as well. Yeah. The title, Portrait of Ro, it's so beautiful. I do want to say though, that sample tone that we heard, the phone, I mean the one that they crafted is beautiful, but the sample generic one really triggers me. I used to work at Flight Centre and I used to be on hold for like 3 hours to Emirates about flight cancellations. So I say we ban the whole tone.
Yeah, I know. It's just awful. That was a bit, Portrait of Ro got you as well.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I was warned earlier that it would probably get me, but yeah.
We literally had the tissues next to us
and then they got moved. They got moved. Michael Hing, where are your tissues?
I am just thrilled that people are spending Good Friday watching us all weep on television.
I know.